The real truth about the beginning, when you're first getting started, okay? And I'm gonna make it easy on you because I'm gonna tell you how I did it in the beginning, and it wasn't easy. So don't expect a lot in the beginning. As a matter of fact, as far as eating, if you went on a regular diet, you'd go crazy right away, and that's the whole point. Is I don't want you to go crazy because I know I didn't. I didn't let any strictness turn me crazy. Like in the beginning, what I would do is honestly, I would still eat a lot of the garbage food that I was used to eating, all the junk food and all that. I still did all that. Let's get real. Let's be honest. In the beginning, but what I did do is I decided to wait to eat. So I learned that if you wait a little bit, you're actually drawing body fat right away. Like you're automatically drawing a lot of fat from your own body. So even though I was eating bad, I was still eating bad foods in the first couple weeks, but I was pushing my first meal over to later on. So instead of just getting out of bed and eating right away, what I would do is I waited a little. So I would wait an hour at first. Then after a week, I was waiting 2 hours to eat instead of eating right away. Then in the evening, I was starting to cut off a little bit. It's not easy in the evening because you're still gonna be hungry. In the beginning, you're still gonna get cravings and all that stuff. But what I did start doing, this is something you could do right away, is you could start eating more fattening foods rather than sugary foods. So if I had to pick two evils, right? I'm gonna pick two evil things to do. Sugary foods or greasy foods. At the beginning, I started eating mostly fattening foods, oily stuff, because believe it or not, even bad oil slows down sugar. But then we're gonna fix all that, okay? So we start off in a bad way, but we start moving things where they should be. We start eating a little later and cutting off a little sooner. That's the whole key. So in the beginning, it's not about what to eat. In the first couple of weeks, it's about when to eat. Not even how much. I'm not even gonna restrict your calories at first because that's really hard to do. Let's get real. Let's be honest. So at first, what I'm gonna do is talk to you about when to eat. Then we go into how much later because we have to start learning how to cut down a little bit. Not a lot. You're still gonna have a big whopping 3,000 calories in the beginning. Let's face it, that's what you're used to, you know? So let's keep it real. No lies here. I'm gonna be honest with you. At first, you're still gonna eat a lot, but you're gonna wait a little. You're gonna wait to eat, and you're gonna try to cut off earlier. So every week, you try to cut out earlier and earlier. So instead of eating at 10 o'clock at night, you're gonna cut off at 8, then 6 o'clock at night. And hopefully you get yourself to cut out at 5 o'clock. You know, if you get up at a normal time, like most people get up at 7 or so, or 8, so then you would start to cut back your evening meals to 6 o'clock and 5 o'clock. And then later on better than that. But look, give yourself a few months before expecting yourself to do all that, okay? At first, like I said, when to eat. Wait a little before you get out of bed. And cut off sooner, an hour before going to bed, then 2 hours before going to bed, then cut off 3 hours before going to bed. So move it, start moving your last meal from 8 o'clock at night to 6 o'clock and then 5 o'clock, then cut off at 4. And believe me, one day, a year later, you'll be able to cut off eating at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, like no problem, and you'll still have a ton of energy. Let me tell you something. I couldn't walk. I couldn't even speak because I had a stroke, but I couldn't walk for a long time. I get out of breath. I couldn't skip a snack without being hungry. I was so insulin resistant. You can do it. But you gotta have a happy thought in your mind as to why you wanna do this. You can't do it because people are trying to scare you, because that won't work. I know when people try to scare me, say, oh, you're gonna have another stroke if you don't do something, that doesn't motivate you. What motivation for me was music, dancing, getting, taking videos. I started thinking like I was young again, So that's what motivates. You gotta picture your happy thoughts, all right?